Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in to the third sessions of Marvex Power Talk, brought to you by Marvex 2021. Hi, I'm Jason here, and I'll be the MC for these sessions. I know it's a busy week, and at this hour, I just want to congratulate you for turning up for this session because we believe that there is no better time right now to relook on our energy consumption and how we can achieve optimal energy efficiency level that can potentially benefit your business. Right, Marvex Power Talk is a series of on-point discussions where leaders and experts converse and deliberate about the opportunities and challenges faced by the ever-growing as well as the reshaping and uplifting of the air conditioning, mechanical ventilations, refrigerations industry. Okay, this session is going to be exciting. So for those of you who are just tuning in live right now, okay, what we're going to do right now is just give me a like. Let me know that you are here, okay? Give me a thumbs up so that I know that you're ready for this very exciting session that we're going to have in a short while. Okay, I see some of you guys who are already here. I see Joyce, I see Simon, I see Johnny. Okay, come on, you guys, just give me a thumbs up, give me a like, let me know you are here and ready for these very exciting Power Talk sessions. This Power Talk session is brought to you by Marvex 2021, which is the inaugural AC/MV and R business event for the ASEAN, scheduled to take place this year from 8 to 11 September at Kuala Lumpur Convention Center. And Marvex is jointly organized by MACRA and CIS. And Marvex is also held concurrently at Engineer, where we strive towards becoming the premier event for the primary source of AC/MV and R stakeholders, while providing a unique platform for the growth and development of the industry. Okay, we have prepared a short video to show you how you can leverage on this one and only one platform to drive your business. Let me present to you the video of Marvex 2021.
Marvex will create a new milestone for MACA and the AC/MV and R industry. We are working towards become the annual premium business and trade event. There will be an important date on the trade calendar for the industry within the ASEAN region.
Marvex is a platform that is driven by the industry for the industry. We look forward for this platform that provides our stakeholders with business networking opportunities.
Beside the all-days exhibition, there will be an industry conference, forums, and many more exciting highlights at Marvex.
Yes, we are as excited as you are with Marvex 2021. So when you stay till the end of today's Power Talk, you will discover these two very important things, okay? The first thing is you need to share and like this post. Okay, just kidding. Anyway, what you're going to do right now is just before we proceed further, do share this post because you don't want your friends or your peers who are in this industry to miss out this very insightful session that we're going to have. So when you stay to the end of this session today, what you're going to do, you're going to discover the solution and service available to achieve optimal energy efficiency level and how it can benefit your business and most importantly, your client or end user. And also how it can also be translated into some monetary value or even beyond that when the implementation is done right. So if you have any questions that you'd like to direct to our moderator or even panelists, what you can do is actually you can post your comment or your questions in the comment box and we'll be answering them at the end of these sessions. So give me a like and share these sessions if you're enjoying and excited this far. I just want to welcome a few of you guys. I see Johnny, I see Noraishkin Saman, I see Ong Bi Soon, and also a lot more, Joyce Faisal Hakim. Okay, so if you guys have any questions, just let us know and we'll be answering them at the end of these sessions. Our topic for today's Power Talk is about beyond energy efficiency. And we are very honored to have three special guests as our special panelists for today's sessions. Firstly, we have Mr. Zamri Haji Mustafa, Head of Electrical and Electronic Session Testing Services Department from CIRIP. We also have Ms. Kathleen Gan, Sales Account Manager from Insuflex Corporation, Sdn Bhd. And we are also very honored to have Mr. Bernard MB, Founder and Director of Zenet Sdn Bhd. In addition, this session is also moderated by technologist Dr. Azman Hussein, Section Head, Center of Skill Excellence of the HVAC Technology Industrial Training Institute, Kepala Batas. Let me share a quick background to introduce our moderator for today's sessions. Technologist Dr. Azman is the Head of Program in the Industrial Training Institute, Kepala Batas Penang. He is also a professional technologist registered with the Malaysian Board of Technologists. He has both experience in mechanical engineering with hands-on practices in AC, MV, and R technology. He earned a diploma in air conditioning technology from Malaysia France Institute, MFI, Bachelor of Engineer Honours, Mechanical from UTM Malaysia, as well as Master of Science and PhD on Renewable Energy from UKM Malaysia. Dr. Azman is also a registered international expert on GIZ recognized at Germany on green for handling hydrocarbon refrigerants since 2014. All right, ladies and gentlemen, last thing that I want you to do, just like and share these sessions with your friends or peers who are in this AC, MV, and R industry. Okay, just let me know, share, like. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let us bring in Dr. Azman, our moderator for today's sessions.
Hi, Jason.
Hi, Dr. Azman, over to you.
Hi, thank you for your introduction. All right, we shall start now. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera. A very good afternoon and a warm welcome everyone. Hi. So welcome to the Marvec Power Talk series and I am Dr. Azman. I will be your moderator for today's session. Ladies and gentlemen, on today's topic on Beyond Energy Efficiency Forum, we will discussing on special issue. We try to debate and discuss what is the energy efficiency, what are the regulation and policy that we have today, how is the roadmap and the measures, what benefit for manufacturers and consumers that comply to the energy standards and so on. We will also discuss the related topic for air conditioner, where we can maximize the energy efficiency through effective insulation practice, where we can make more energy saving, and we have also the information about the intelligent management control system for the energy saving practice. Today's scenario, based on the research data, what I can highlight to the audience is we are still lagging behind with latest industries technologies as compared to our neighboring countries. For example, at Thailand and Singapore, we know how their industries work with the latest technologies. And we also lacking in terms of awareness of the latest application and the best practice among our contractor in Malaysia. Our perception that been following the conventional practice, we save costs on installation, the material usage. Instead on that, it costs when in long run may eventually cost more. For example, our aircon lifespan will be shorter, the higher maintenance and also resulted to high energy consumption. And we also still under argument about the adoption rate of energy efficiency solutions. So ladies and gentlemen, please stay till the end of the session because this webinar forum can give you information about what are the benefits that business and the end users can get when adopt the energy efficient solutions other than saving the money. And else, what are the available solution or the services that can achieve the optimal energy efficiency level. A little bit overview about the current energy trend versus energy efficiency in Malaysia. Researchers in Malaysia found that the surging economic growth has led to the dramatic increase of energy consumption in the recent years. Generally, commercial buildings consume almost 32% of the total generated energy, with the office buildings making up the other 18.5% of total energy consumption. The average building energy index in Malaysia is between 200 to 250 kilowatt hour per meter square per year, whereas the reference point for the energy efficient building must be below than 135 kilowatt hour meter square per year. Based on the research finding, the appliance such as air conditioning system having the higher energy star index and proper operational practice can overcome this issue. So because we know that about 60 to 70% of energy was generated by the air conditioner during operation. So to discuss and share the further on this topic, we are happy to have invited three specialists in their field. They are Mr. M. Zamri Haji Mustafa, the head of electrical and electronic section, testing service department, Sirim QAS International Sdn Bhd. We also have Ms. Kathleen Gan, the sales account manager in Sulflex Corporation Sdn Bhd. And we also have Mr. Bernard MB, the founder and also director of Zenith Malaysia Sdn Bhd. Guys, feel free to drop your question, put in the comment at the box side, and we will do our best to answer your questions before end of this forum. With that, let me introduce the first panelist for today's session. M. Zamri Mustafa is graduated from Dudley University, USA with Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering. Currently as a head of electrical and electronic testing section, testing service department, Sirim QAS International. The post he has held since 2009. He has vast experience in testing, having joined Sirim for more than 30 years, and has been involved in various conformity assessment programs and the project such as JICA mini project, IECEE-CB scheme, ASEAN EEMRA, ASEAN Sign project for energy efficiency, mostly for the air conditioners. Without further ado, let me invite Mr. Zamri to join me on the screen.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Azman.
Assalamualaikum. Assalamualaikum, Mr. Zamri. So, how are you?
Waalaikumsalam. Okay. Couldn't be better.
So, the floor is yours now.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Azman.
Okay.
Very good introduction. Okay. Very good afternoon to all of you. It's a privilege to be with all of you, sharing a topic that is close to us. My name is Zamri Mustafa. I'm the head of electrical electronic testing section, Sirim QAS International. I'm here to present a general overview on energy efficiency, especially on household appliances, in terms of what benefits to manufacturer as well as to consumers. I do sincerely hope that after this session, the industry will view energy efficiency as one way for them to support government initiative in saving energy as well as preserving our environment. and for the industry to embrace this energy efficiency as something that will give benefit to them, their equipment, appliances or production, and last but not least to the consumer, to their customers. Before I go further, let me share with you on an overview of energy efficiency and STAR labeling program in Malaysia. Households remain to be one of the major contributors to harmful greenhouse gases because they use home appliances that consume a lot of energy, and air conditioners are one of the biggest contributors to that. Realizing the importance to support the environment, the energy efficiency product or appliances become more favorable because less energy consumption but with the same level of energy service, function and performance. In Malaysia, under the Energy Efficiency and Energy Labeling Program by the Energy Commission or Suruhanjaya Tenaga, each product is based on the STAR index that determines its compliance for energy efficiency. In short, energy efficiency is using less energy to provide the same level of energy service to perform the same function. Let's take a look at the current energy efficiency regulatory framework in Malaysia. In Malaysia, regulation and related document and all necessary infrastructure for energy efficiency are all in place. At ministry level, currently we have NEEAP, a National Energy Efficiency Action Plan, where all the plans, programs or initiatives are mentioned in the document. Overall, the target is for 8% energy reduction in 2025 compared to business as usual, BAU. Okay, in the meantime, it is expected that very soon we will have an energy efficiency and conservation law. This EENC law is not yet tabled in our parliament, but once it is gazetted, it will be a very important document to the industry. Under the Energy Commission, Suruhanjaya Tenaga, they have a regulation on energy efficiency under Electricity Supply Act. The Electricity Regulation 2013 was officially mandated on 3rd May 2013 by the Suruhanjaya Tenaga. The amendment includes additional new regulation regarding the use of energy efficiency equipment and a force schedule that embed a list of equipment currently under the EC Energy Efficiency Mandatory Requirement. Air conditioner is one of the items on the list. The ST regulation are supported by MAPS guidelines for each and EE products or appliances. You are also advised to go to ST website to get copies of this MEPS documents or guidelines. They can be downloaded for free. Other supporting documents such as EE standard, regional AC roadmaps, national AC roadmap, etc. are there to support the energy efficiency and STAR labeling program. And finally, we have CRIM QS as a recognized testing lab to provide the testing services for the EE labeling program. These infrastructures help the Energy Commission in regulating the requirement on energy efficiency in Malaysia. At the regional level, majority of ASEAN countries have mandated for some appliances to comply with both safety and energy efficiency requirement. Example of which are air conditioners. So there are many countries within ASEAN where ACs are mandated to comply with energy efficiency standard and requirement. A little bit of energy efficiency initiative background in ASEAN. In 2016, ASEAN Shine, a regional project funded by EU, conducted a regional study and found out that most air conditioners available in ASEAN countries have energy performance that is already above the current national energy efficiency standard. In this context, ASEAN Shine proposed to harmonize minimum energy performance standards for room air conditioner in ASEAN countries at a higher level to eliminate the most inefficient models from the market. The regional study has led to the development of regional policy roadmap to harmonize air conditioner standard in ASEAN countries by 2020. And as for Malaysia chapter, under the same project, we also came up with a similar roadmap titled Promotion of Higher Energy Efficiency Room Air Conditioner. This document endorsed by KETA and Energy Commission in 2016. Current energy efficiency activities in ASEAN region is handled by ASEAN Center of Energy in Jakarta. As specified in both documents, both regional policy roadmap and also national policy roadmap, the minimum energy performance standard is set at CSPF of 3.110 by 2020, and this is the current value adopted by our Suruhanjaya Tenaga in their style labeling program for aircons. The current max value will normally be subjected for a review again within 2 to 3 years. In current situation, I think it's going to be no later than 2025. By the way, CSPF is stand for Cooling Seasonal Performance Factor, a method of energy efficiency ratio calculation or evaluation. These are some components addressed or mentioned in our national air conditioner roadmap guidelines, such as harmonized testing method, harmonized evaluation method, harmonized MAPS value, phasing out of R22 refrigerant, testing infrastructure, and so on. Now let's talk about the benefits of energy efficiency. What are the benefits of energy efficiency to manufacture or of appliances? There are many benefits that manufacturers can get through when they have their equipment or appliances tested for energy efficiency standard. Number one, brand trust. An appliance with a 5-star label can instill confidence and trust on the brand and on the equipment or appliances. Equipment or appliances that comply with the energy efficiency test or requirement can gain a bigger market share when people choose and prefer appliances with high energy efficiency. The second one, in terms of product development, it will create an opportunity for product development to the manufacturer. Energy efficiency standard will encourage product manufacturer to increase product efficiency on continuing basis and raise the average energy efficiency of their product. Energy efficiency standard will encourage product manufacturer to go for the development and innovation of high quality products, whereas market demand for more high energy efficient appliances will spur more product technology innovation. With more stringent efficiency requirement, it will eliminate the most inefficient product from the market and provide greater incentive for manufacturers to introduce more or higher efficient product. The third benefits in terms of market penetration, as people are more aware of the need and benefits of energy efficiency, thus willing to afford the higher initial cost for energy efficient products, we will further see robust sale of high energy efficiency performance of equipment or appliances such as air conditioners. The fourth benefits in terms of market differentiation. Product that complies with EE or energy efficiency requirement can be sold in other economies such as ASEAN. The market for room air conditioner in ASEAN economies is growing every year, and Thailand is one of the biggest market with more than 2.5 million units sold yearly. And most ASEAN countries or economies already have energy efficiency standards and labeling regulation for the aircons. Mandatory MAPS and labeling program currently are the norm. The last one is in terms of the government incentive. Government through the Energy Commission has introduced a few incentives to encourage people to buy 5-star product. In previous year, tax incentive and rebate were also introduced. Next, we take a look at the benefits to the consumer. Energy efficiency will help consumer in their purchasing decision. Product rated with 5-star label, the higher the star, the more efficient the product is. So the consumer is advised to look for star energy efficiency label on appliance that bear 5-star label when doing their purchasing. Energy efficiency will help consumers save money by reducing their energy bills at home, and reduce household electricity bill will also reduce the cost of living for average Malaysian. When using standard equipment or appliances, other benefits to the consumers are the energy efficiency provide assurance that equipment or appliances comply with requirement of safety standard as well as requirement of energy efficiency standard criteria. Energy efficiency provide assurance that the equipment or appliances comply with regulatory requirement. Energy efficiency also provide assurance that the equipment or appliances are safe, of high quality, and provide value for money. The energy efficiency can also help conserve and protect the environment. It is indeed one of the best ways consumers can do to help fight climate change. It can be a simple way to save Mother Earth for the next generation to come. The energy efficient appliances are essential for enhancing the quality of consumer life. Using them can be more convenient by making your life a lot easier. Finally, consumers are eligible for some incentive from government, such as a rebate scheme when buying energy efficient 5-star aircons. One of the initiatives identified for improving energy efficiency in Malaysia targets the final end user through the retailers of electronic appliances. The initiative is intended to stimulate the sale of energy efficient appliances. Through the initiative, consumers will receive rebates on appliances that account for the biggest part of household electricity bill, namely refrigerator and air conditioners. Okay, in summary, energy efficiency is an important element or component in saving energy and preserving our environment. Energy Commission currently mandated about 6 electrical appliances to comply with energy efficiency and labelling standard, including aircons. Manufacturers, importers, suppliers, as well as consumers can gain many benefits from energy efficiency and labeling regulation, as the higher efficiency appliances have a better market penetration and acceptance now. As for consumers, many now are using higher efficient appliances as they are proven and able to save energy, electricity bill, and hence the consumers' money in the long run. I think this is the end of my presentation. Thank you all for your kind attention. I can be reached at this following contact information, and then you can also access Energy Commission website for detailed information with regard to energy efficiency program, and also some of the guideline or document that you can download it from that website. With that, thank you, and then I pass over the session back to Dr. Azman. Doctor?
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Zamri, for your good presentation and also sharing a good information today about the energy efficiency. Ladies and gentlemen, okay, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, what we can get from Mr. Zamri's presentation is about the overview of the regulation and also the policy that we have today, the roadmap and also the measures, the benefit for the manufacturers and also the consumers that comply to the energy standard. So Mr. Zamri also has covered the interesting topic about the star rating for the household appliances for energy saving strategies. The energy efficient appliances are essential for enhance the quality of consumers' life, and at the same, it gives the benefit in terms of energy reduction or energy saving. So we can find a lot of information about the energy efficiency in the document that we call Minimum Energy Performance Standard, or MAPS. This MAPS document can be downloaded from the ST website. Okay, thank you again, Mr. Zamri. So, ladies and gentlemen, our second panelist is Ms. Kathleen Gunn, the Sales Account Manager. She's graduated from University of Birmingham with Master in Marketing Management. She is a proficient sales team engaging with expanding network of dealers and consultants, having a multiple hands-on problem-solving experience at project sites. Throughout the year, she has been in the NBR installation manufacturing industry for more than 5 years, with the experience on retail and also project segment for the export market. With that, let me bring Kathleen on screen with me.
Hi, Dr. Asman.
Hi, Kathleen.
Hi, Dr. Asman. Thank you for the
So
introduction.
how are you today?
Very good. Very exciting for the...
Yeah, so our
Harry?
audience are waiting for you now. So I pass the floor for you.
Right.
Please continue.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Asman. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here with us. I'm Kathleen, Sales Account Manager from Insuflex. We are one of the pioneer nitrobutadiene rubber NBR insulation manufacturer in Malaysia. So in today's topic, I'm going to share how insulation can save on energy efficiency on air conditioning system. In HVAC is often considered as wasteful, energy-intensive, and big source of carbon emission. It is typically responsible for 40% of the energy consumption in a building. Frequently, this is the largest energy-consuming type of equipment on site. Therefore, it can provide significant scope of energy saving and money. Insulation itself, in particular, can play a very important role in lowering our utility bills. Properties that have energy leaks can lead to a high energy bills and make air conditioning system works harder to retain the desired temperature. In Insuflex, we manufacture closed-cell elastomeric foam insulation, which provide thermal efficiency along with the necessary prevention of condensation and water vapor transmission. Choosing the right thickness for insulation is very crucial to protect against condensation and conservation of energy over a period. Moisture control is critical to thermal efficiency. If thickness of insulation is insufficient and moisture intrudes the insulating material, thermal efficiency is lost. This will be inefficient and complete waste of energy. So do let me share a scenario. In general, most of the installer in the market, they will try to save on material costs and installation time. On typical practice on the most commonly used thickness in residential sector, which are 3/8 thickness and 1/2 inch thickness. From the right table, we can see the cost per piece comparing both thicknesses. For example, 19 mm diameters, one plank of 3/8 thickness costs about 2 ringgit and 1/2 inch thickness costs about 4 ringgit. So most of the installer or user, they will be like, wow, the difference is almost double. So in terms of percentage, the cost saving per length might seem a lot. However, without realizing, the installer insert 2 copper pipes in 1 insulation tubes. This is not just to save the material cost, but also the installation time. From the right bottom photo, we can see that is a very commonly seen of installation method. It not just happened in Malaysia, but also overseas market as well. By inserting 2 copper pipes in 1 tube, it might potentially cause the issue of condensation due to the copper exchanging heat with each other. And there might also be potential pinhole leaks on the copper due to the friction during installation. So in fact, insulation is the cheapest part, but also is the cheapest part for the whole complete air conditioning system, but it is also the most important part. Installers subsequently, by saving upfront material costs, that might cause a very expensive damage for the user in the near future. For example, rectification costs. Let's say if there's any energy leaks on the air conditioning system, the user will blast the air conditioning probably to 16 degrees Celsius, the coldest, and it will definitely increase the workload of the compressor, and eventually the lifespan of the compressor will decrease. The cost to replace the compressor probably costs a few hundred ringgit. By most of the projects, engineers and consultants with their expertise, most of them, they are well aware the factors to be considered to determine the correct thicknesses. We do have a very handy program for the non-engineers to use to calculate the minimum required thickness. First, we'll have to identify the 4 factors, which are the maximum ambient temperature, the maximum humidity level, the minimum line temperature, as well as the pipe size. With the 4 factors, we can then proceed with the minimum thickness calculation. We do have the Insuflex thickness calculation program, which is available on our website. You can just browse on our website and look for the thickness calculation, and just simply key in the 4 factors and we will have the recommended thickness calculated. By choosing the right thickness, we can definitely benefit from it by increasing cooling efficiency, extend the lifespan of air conditioning system. We can save energy, which is saving costs in terms of our utility bills, optimize utilize of energy, lesser carbon emission, which means a green attributes to our environment. We do hope that from today's sharing, installer will not neglect on the importance of insulation, and they can shift from saving upfront cost philosophy to a long-term performance value to comply with the building sustainability directives. Thank you. I'll end my session here today. If there's anything, please do contact us, and also please feel free to drop your question on the comment tabs. We'll be happily answer it. Thank you. Dr. Asman, thank you. I'll pass the floor back to you.
All right, Kathleen, thank you for your sharing the valuable experience with us. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, a little bit summary here. What Ms. Kathleen has shared with us is how the insulation helps to reduce the energy consumption, to minimize the condensation, to enhance the thermal and heat transfer. And also, Kathleen have showed us the example how thickness can contribute to the energy losses. To avoid the energy from loss, the proper thickness selected is important during installation of the air conditioner. So Kathleen also mentioned the possible cost when putting copper pipe in one side insulation only, where the thickness, she also highlighted the thickness calculation software is available and can be downloaded at Insuflex website. So thank you again, Ms. Kathleen. Now, ladies and gentlemen, our third and final panelist is Mr. Bernard MB, the founder and the director of Zenith Malaysia Sdn Bhd. Mr. MB is also the founder of Zenith in January 2015. He is also the CEO of Trickle Star, a Singapore publicly listed company that produces the energy-saving products. He has over 25 years of experience in electrical and building control system. He was managing director of Clipsal Integrated System, which was subsequently acquired by the Schneider Electric. He was a management consultant with Honeywell, responsible for mapping out the product strategy for the company residential lighting control and home automation product in Europe, the Middle East, and also in Africa. Mr. MB graduated with a bachelor from the University of Western Australia, and also he holds a graduate diploma in business from the Curtin University. He is a member of the Singapore Institute of Directors. So let's welcome Mr. Bernard on screen with me.
Thank you, Dr. Zamri.
Hi,
thank
Bernard.
you. Hi.
How are you?
How are you? I'm very good, thank you.
So
I'm coming
are
to
you
you
ready?
from Penang today.
Yeah. Are you ready for the topic to share with us?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we are excited to hear the latest technology that you will cover up. I think our audience also is waiting. So I pass to you, Mr. Bernard, please.
Thank you, Dr. Zamri. Thank you, everyone. So I'm going to talk a little bit today about control systems for split system air conditioning units. So just briefly, just to set the scene for you, in terms of understanding the increasing need for energy. So demand for electricity or for energy in ASEAN has increased by more than 70% in the past 15 years. And there's a forecast further increase of another 70% by 2040. So there's a lot of talk about energy efficiency and I think hopes for energy efficiency, but really what is happening is the demand for energy is increasing, and what is very concerning is the majority of this additional power is being supplied from fossil-based fuels. So we already have serious issues with climate change, and the trajectory for energy consumption is going in the wrong way. It's going up considerably where it should be declining. Air conditioning accounts for the majority of the demand for energy, and split systems is responsible for the sizable majority of this. And I would really recommend to all of the viewers to take a look at an article that was published in late 2018 called "Freezing in the Tropics." This was by the Eco Business Research organization in Singapore. It's a really, really insightful document, so I'd really recommend that. So I think just to set the scene for you, I think a lot of people are unaware of just how much energy air conditioning uses and the impact that that's actually having on energy production requirements and energy planning for infrastructure in the region. So just to I think most of the viewers here would understand how the market is constructed. So we have larger buildings. So this is above 15,000 square meters using centralized water-chilled plants, very efficient systems for large buildings with very predictable cooling schedules. But for smaller buildings, that's less than 15,000 square meters, and this is roughly about a bit over 65% of the market, and virtually all residential properties, they use what we call our unitary split system ACs. So everyone is familiar with these units. It's the fan unit. You have an indoor unit in a room, and you have a external or an outdoor unit mounted external to the building. So these are the what we call split system unitary air conditioners. This is the most popular, most widely deployed AC technology in Asia, not just in Malaysia. So whilst I said the majority of large buildings with centralized systems, they use very well-established technologies from the likes of Schneider Electric, Honeywell, Johnson Controls. They use these building management systems to optimize HVAC operation. But if you look at the bulk of the market, which is split system ACs, there's typically no controls or very few controls to operate optimize energy efficiency. So it's quite an interesting, quite a thought-provoking question when you have over 90% of the market, which is of AC cooling, has virtually no controls in it. So if you just do some rough calculations and you took a very conservative number, a lifespan of an a split system AC unit being 10 years, there's roughly about 1 million of them going into the market. There's around 10 million splits which are unmanaged in the install base. If you assume that the AC units have a longer lifespan than 10 years, they could go up to 15 or more years. You get the idea that it's a very, very sizable install base. The other issue that makes controlling adding any type of controls to these sorts of units is that you have such a fragmented market. You have multiple brands from multiple vendors, all with different levels of different types of controls and different feature sets. So there are really when we think about saving energy, there's really two ways that you can think about this. So the first one is what we see the most of is the physical device performance. And this is the sort of either the mechanical operating efficiency, it's the type of refrigerants that are used, could be insulation. There's a whole bunch that physically how the actual device itself performs. So that this is typically what the AC vendors are focused on. But then there is a second branch a second branch that we need to think about, and this revolves around behavioral measures. And this is what control systems vendors like Zernet, how we control the unit, how units are being used. All of these controls about when and how to use AC systems. So the control system has nothing to do with with altering the mechanical efficiency of the AC unit. It doesn't change the compressor algorithms. It doesn't void the warranty. It doesn't do anything like that. What it looks at is very much the behavioral aspect. And it starts with a couple of different things. So there's minimum set point control. I think I've lived in Malaysia for nearly 25 years. I think we can all identify with the issue of walking into an office or a house where someone is not paying the bill and the AC, the set point is set to 16 degrees. I think it's very common around the country. You can go into an office and you can see people wearing a jacket, wearing a jumper, because it's too cold in the office, but they like it absolutely cold. It's roughly around 5% additional energy consumption for every degree of set point that is set. The next thing that you can start to think about is scheduling. So throughout the day, there are periods of time when people are not in the building, in a small building or a small office. They're not in the building. When do we turn on when does the AC need to be turned on? When can the set point be raised? When should it be lowered? What happens at the end of the day? How often do you come in the morning and someone has forgotten to switch off the AC and the AC has been running for the past 12 hours overnight? The next point that we have here is on occupancy sensing. So simple things like we see it with lighting controls. If nobody is in a meeting room, for example, no one is in an office, we switch the lights off because there's no need for lighting if there's no occupants. Similarly, we can do things with AC where we can adjust the set point slightly higher, and then once the space becomes occupied again, we can adjust the set point lower if needed. So these are some of the simple things that we can do. The last point that I would just mention is that what we're starting to see with all of these control systems was increased connectivity and the ability to gather data. So what we're starting to see is now when these units are being installed and you're measuring the performance of an AC unit, and you can start to benchmark it, and you can say this AC unit is in the same location but it's using more power. We need to look at perhaps servicing that unit. So it might need regassing, the filters might be cleaning, or there might be another issue that needs to be investigated. So all of those things start to come into play. If you just think from yourself in terms of a residential setting, very frequently the only time that an AC unit will be regassed or be serviced will be you'll be in the room and you'll be going, wow, I've got it set to 16 degrees and it's really not cold enough in here. I think the unit must be in need of service, but the unit may have been running inefficiently for the last 3 or 4 months and consuming wasted energy. So as I said, these behavioral controls allow you to bring large-scale building control type technology down to split system units. So you can control and monitor the devices in real time, configure rules, set points. You can add sensors, occupancy sensors, door window sensors. And where we find, and this is within our company, where we find in a commercial context this works very well, is with with organizations that have a small to medium size footprint, a physical footprint. So if you want to think about something like a 7-Eleven store, they may have 3 or 4 AC units, but there might be 1,500 units across the country, all across different geographies. It doesn't make sense to put a building control system into each one of those, but these type of controls for splits allow an organization to set energy policy across all of these units. It allows the units to capture in real time what's happening with power consumption, and then to run much deeper analysis on that. So just in terms of putting that into context for you, in terms of savings, we've done some field studies here in Malaysia, and just on set point control alone, there are energy savings of around 38%. That's just where people have dialed the set point to 16 degrees, they're not paying the bill, and setting it to a reasonable set point, 22 degrees, there's significant savings as much as 38%. So you can configure some of the savings, some of the energy optimization features, but typically with these types of controls, you can get a return on investment in under 18 months, depending on how things are configured. This is these slides, I believe, will be made available. You can have a look at it, but this is the simple architecture. There's typically a box that will be installed either up in the roof or somewhere in the room next to the AC unit. The power cabling runs through the unit, and you'll see a purple line from the AC unit to this box which says IR emitter. That allows the unit to transmit IR codes reliably to the unit and to set modes and fan speed and so on. These units, you'll see to the right of the box in the middle, you'll see it connects via standard Wi-Fi network to a router. That's just a standard 2.4 gigahertz connection. So you can have as many of these units installed over as many locations as needed. Now, one of the interesting things with this type of technology is that, as I said at the beginning, is you have, in most homes or most buildings, you have multiple brands from different AC companies. You have multiple brands, multiple models, and what this type of technology does is it sits on top of it. If you want to think of it as a transparent or an invisible layer that sits on top of all of these units and then presents all of that information into a cloud service or into a portal, into an app that resides on a user's phone. So there's really no practical limit in terms of size, number of controllers, and number of sites that can be managed. So 2 quick takeaways before I hand back to you, Dr. Zamri. I think most of the viewers, I would really encourage you to go and have a look at globalcoolingprize.org. I think what you're going to see is major changes within the next 12 months in the mechanical efficiency of air conditioning units. Air conditioning units haven't, the underlying technology hasn't really changed much in the last 100 years. It's still vapor compression. Aircon units are still pretty much, give or take a bit of additional efficiency, but are pretty much the same technology since 100 years ago. So, but what you will start to also see is lots and lots of innovation in controls. The Internet of Things will allow and drive these behavioral controls, and these controls also will provide the field devices to drive machine learning and really to allow for very rich data analysis. And I think that what you will see is most of this type of innovation is going to come from non-AC vendors. It's going to come from control systems companies that are not fixed to a particular type of AC vendor, whether it's a York, a Daikin, a Panasonic, whoever. It's going to be a solution that will sit on top of that. So you're going to see a lot of innovation come in this space. And with that, I'd like to hand it back to you, Dr. Zamri.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Bernard, for very insightful sharing. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Bernard has shared the two ways how we can improve the energy efficiency by integrated the intelligent management system to the split aircon system. The behavioral control which related to the operational strategy to control on off the air conditioner, to set the room temperature, the airflow, we can adjust. This involves the IoT technologies which can control the air conditioner operation. I think we know that currently the majority of large buildings with centralized aircon system utilize the BMF system to optimize the ACMV operation. But with these technologies highlighted by Mr. Bernard, quite interesting to us, right? This can lead to the energy saving. Mr. Bernard said that the significant saving was up to 38%. And what is interesting is the return of investment, the ROI. Consumer can achieve under 18 months only based on the configuration. All right, thank you again, Mr. Bernard. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have heard from all three presenters sharing their knowledge and experience and giving such example and related to our topic today, beyond the energy efficiency. To our audience, feel free to ask any question and you can drop at the box side, and remember you can mention the question to the presenter which you want to ask for. Okay, we are now start to the discussion forum, and we want to tackle some questions from the audience. First of all, let me invite the three panelists to join me on the screen. Let's welcome again Mr. Zamri, Mr. Zamri, Miss Kathleen, and also Mr. Bernard. Okay, are you ready, guys? All right. So let's begin the discussion forum and answer the question here. I will read the question and I will pass to the related parties to answer. After that, if any speakers have their opinions, so you also can also give the answer to the audience. Okay, first let me go to Mr. Zamri.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Zamri,
Yep.
we know, we know that the most of the homeowners or the manufacturers understand the importance of energy efficiency. However, it is not always clear what energy efficiency is and how you can achieve it. So the question is it expensive to be energy efficient?
Okay, thank you, Doctor. It's very good question. This is always people perception that to comply with energy efficiency require a lot of money, and that the energy efficiency are very expensive. But actually, it is not. Contrary to that belief, manufacturer who apply energy efficiency can have many benefits actually, and can save money in the long run. And of course, as a consumer, if you purchase the most efficient product, actually, let's say with a 5-star rating, the price will be a little bit higher. I agree with that, or expensive as compared to a similar model with a 2 or 3 star. But as the higher efficient product, the longer you save, the more you can save in terms of energy and also money, and that that will give you more saving in the long run actually, and this will help consumer to save their electricity bill and so on. Currently, our government provide a monetary rebate for those who are interested to purchase, let's say, 5-star aircon or refrigerator. So this is another encouragement or incentive that maybe will drive people to buy more of high energy efficient product. Okay, back to you, Dr. Azman.
Okay, I think to audience, what that Mr. Zamri tell is not only about the money. price is about a little bit higher, but we can save in terms of the protect the energy. We can reduce the energy. We can also protect the environmental, and so we have the green energy. So another question we have here to Mr. Zamri. I think I got one question from Melissa Sarah Echa Gabriel. Yeah, Melissa Sarah.
Okay.
Mr. Sarah asked the question about, as a consumer, how I want to make sure the star labeling on the product is original or fake. Thank you. I think Mr.
Okay.
Zamri, can you help to answer?
Okay. I think in the ST guideline on the aircon, it stated that they provide the document provide a little bit of guideline on how manufacturer supplier can design their label and what information to be put on it. And one of the information that is quite critical is on the availability of a QR code. QR code. So my answer to that is that in the current ST label, there is a QR code whereby the consumer can scan on it. So the QR code, the information, once you scan, the information will lead to ST website. So ST will then send or share information with regard to the specification for that particular product. So that will be the answer. So once you receive the information similar to the appliances that you are about to buy or about to purchase, then you can give you some information whether the product is genuine or not. Information are all there. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, I hope this explanation can help Melissa. Yeah, you can check using the QR code at the product itself. Okay. So next questions pass to Miss Kathleen. So Miss Kathleen is regarding to the maximize the energy efficiency and energy saving through effective insulation practice. So Kathleen, we know that the insulation materials can eliminating the convection process. Properly selected, the insulation system can reduce the heat loss, increase the thermal performance, and conserve the energy by maintaining the desired temperature. Thermal performance is commonly expressed in the construction industry as a U value or R value. So the question is, how much the energy can be saved through use of proper insulation materials?
All right. So thank you, Dr. Asman, for the question. Okay, so our products are mainly to prevent condensation and how insulation can save energy on air conditioning system. So in fact, for energy saving for buildings, we perhaps need to look into another sector, probably insulate the roof or the wall for a particular building. For thermal insulation, we have one aims to accomplish the same goals, which is to reduce the transfer of heat into the building or out of the building when it is winter, probably for those country with 4 seasons. So how insulation works is by trapping the tiny air pockets to slow down the movement of the heat into the building. It is easier to understand on how insulation works is probably if you remember how what it's like to wear a goose down jacket during winter times. So even though the jacket is light as a feather, many feathers, many thousand feathers in a jacket, but your body can still stay toasty warm. So that is how the feathers create millions of tiny air pockets to keep us warm. So it depends on how well insulated on the building, and it will determine how comfortable it is and how you want to spend on the heating and cooling system. In general, most of the study, it shows that a well-insulated house or building, it can save up to 15 to 20% of energy saving annually.
Okay. I hope this answer from Ms. Kathleen can be is quite good because as Ms. Kathleen said, we have to insulate the roof or walls and also the thermal to reduce the heat to enter the room or building. So Ms. Kathleen give the good example using the jacket during winter. So the most of the study showed that it saved about 15% annually. So I think it's quite good. Question 2 to Kathleen also, there is question 2. What are the factors need to be considered when selecting insulation material and design the insulation system?
All right. So basically, in my presentation earlier, I did mention the 4 factors. That is the main 4 factors to consider during choosing the right thicknesses. So the maximum ambient temperature, the maximum humidity level, the minimum line temperature of the system, as well as the pipe size. With these 4 factors, we can calculate the sufficient thickness. For the design in the insulation system, we perhaps need to consider whether the insulation is installed in for outdoor application or indoor application. For example, if it is for outdoor application, we probably need a layer of membrane, for example, like aluminium, to protect the insulation because all insulation material, it will definitely crack under the direct UV sunlight. As well as and we probably need to consider whether there's enough space for the insulation, sufficient thickness for the insulation. For example, probably like condo, most of the condo, the insulation are concealed in the wall. So probably we don't have enough space for example, 19 mm, 3/4, we don't have enough space, and the installer or the contractor, they will go undersize. When it go undersize, condensation might happen.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Good answers from Ms. Kathleen. Okay. So we recap back the 4 factors involved during selecting the insulation material and how to design. Okay. Next, we have a question here to Mr. Bernard. So in terms of maximize the energy efficiency, Mr. Bernard, are you here? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. During to maximize the energy efficiency and energy saving through effective intelligent management practice of air conditioner. So you said that we focus on the split aircon system. So split air conditioner or unitary system are the most popular and widely deployed air conditioner system technology at residential sites, more than 90%. However, this system typically have no or only few controls to optimize the energy efficiency. So the question is, the companies activities looking for a way to save energy in order to be more profitable and have more control over their costs. So a great way to achieve this by tracking, analyzing, and controlling energy through energy management software. What is your point of view?
Thanks, Dr. Azman. I think what you're starting to see is certainly amongst listed companies, there is now a mandatory requirement for sustainability reporting. So listed companies have to dedicate resource to look at what role they're doing in sustainability. Within sustainability, they also have to look at their carbon footprint. They have to look at their energy footprint as well. So that is driving a sort of a lot of focus for organizations to look at energy efficiency. What can they do better? And then, of course, there's just the simple financial aspect of energy efficiency. If you are, for example, a university with, and there's one in Malaysia with 25,000 split system aircon units across the country in different locations, which are all being run without any types of controls, that can have a huge impact, a financial impact. So there is a tremendous financial incentive for organizations, large organizations, even smaller organizations, to look at how air conditioning is being used, because often there's this disconnect between who pays the energy bill and who's actually using the unit. If I'm using the unit, you think of it you think of it just in terms of at home. You're much more careful because you're paying the bill. But if you're in an organization and someone else is paying the bill, you just go full blast, 16 degrees, no problem. And that's human nature in a way. So these organizations have to have some type of mechanism in place to make sure that they can provide a level of service, but they can do that in a much more sustainable way. So I think what you're going to see is energy efficiency is just going to become much more part of the organizational culture. It's going to become more part of the legislative framework, and so it'll have a piece of management headspace increasingly as we move forward in organizations.
Oh, okay. Very good information on that. Yeah, as you said, if the 25,000 air conditioner run without the control, so it's a very big impact financial to the organization or to the building owner. There we know that when the officer, they just setting up the temperature below than the requirement. This can be the impact to the not sustainable to the environment, also to the owner. Okay, another question to you, Mr. Bernard. Can you elaborate the basic architecture of control or the monitoring system, such as of your system, the intelligent management, in order to achieve the minimum energy efficiency?
Thank you, Dr. Azman. I think there's a couple of things just to bear in mind. I mean, we have one idea of how it can be done. There's certainly other companies that have an approach to it, but there's two parts essentially. The one part is there is some device, there is an aftermarket device that gets added to the air conditioner that will do the actual power measurement and the actual controls. So there's a box somewhere, a box up in the roof, a box on the wall, a box next to the aircon unit. Some of the newer aircon units already have some of these controls built into them. But there's a box to do something, and then there's a connectivity piece. So these devices have to connect to the internet. So I think many people have heard about what's called IoT, the Internet of Things. These devices have to connect to the internet, and then there is some type of software system or some type of architecture where these units will, you can use it might be a web interface where you can set rules for scheduling, set points, and you can also gather data. So in summary, there's really two pieces. There's a piece of hardware, and then there is also there's a connectivity and a software piece.
So can we use our handphone to control the system?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Wow,
yeah.
Oh, okay, good, very good. Okay, we go to the question. Next question we have here for Mr. Zamri. So, Mr. Zamri, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, the one question here, what is the most effective way to enhance people awareness towards the energy consumption in their buildings?
Okay, thank you, Dr. Azman. There are many ways actually to enhance people awareness. One of which is, I think, a general campaign. It could be one of them through TV or social media, because now many people can get through the information through that, both TV network as well as media. And then the other one could be that awareness program to the school children. Because I think we should inculcate culture to target this type of group, because information that they are gathering, they can pass maybe to their parents and so on. Because to build up the culture, it takes times. The third one, it could be that a campaign for both industry and also the government. The government currently, if I'm not mistaken, I think way back into 2010, something like that. That government encourage all the government building to set the temperature setting of around 24 degree. So this type of approach, I think, if it is good, if we could extend it to private sector, private office, and so on. So these are the sort of campaign or effort, or joint effort between government and private sector that we should encourage. Okay.
Okay, all right.
That's my
Very
answer.
good. Yeah. Another question to you, Mr. Zamri. Wow, very good.
Okay.
A lot of question for you. So,
Okay.
the air conditioner consume more than 60% of energy in the building energy. So, how Energy Star Index can guide consumer to practice it, maintain the same function with less energy consumption?
Okay. If you recall in my presentation just now, as I said, energy efficiency is about using less energy to provide the same level of energy service output, function, and so on. So to answer to that question, I would like to suggest the following. One is actually, if you want to, or if you as a consumer, if you want to purchase aircon, please look for a 5-star or higher efficient aircon, because it can guarantee you that in the long run, it can it's proven it can save you a lot of electricity bills. And the second one, I think, actually is back to the habits, our habits. I think in Bernard's presentation also mentioned a similar thing. If you want to, let's say, if nobody in the room, I think it's ideally you should switch off the aircon, right? So this is something that we need to encourage. I mean, in our house, our children to do the same and so on. The second one is, as I mentioned just now, probably maybe we can embrace or take the lead from our government by setting the temperature setting of around 25, 24 degrees C. It's not like maybe I think it's for 16 degree. I think it's quite cool. So set the temperature to around 24. I think it will help us to save a lot of energy and so on. And then this is about the architecture also. Use shade or screen or window awning, or probably you have to thin the window to reduce heat absorption, because that will help your aircon perform better. If not, then you have to switch to the full blast. Okay, and then I think there are many more habits, do's and don'ts that you can practice. I think if you Google some information in the internet, you can find a lot of encourage or positive attribute or positive advice that you can practice yourself. And then last but not least, I think if you aircon nowadays with the latest technology such as inverter type or eco-friendly, I think it should be of our preference. The minute we want to buy this type of appliances, look for the latest technology, because it always give you some benefits later. Okay, Doctor, back to you.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Mr. Zamri. To audience, so what Mr. Zamri explained is about the step to practice the energy efficiency. First, I just want to highlight, first is buy the higher Energy Star rating. Second, switch off the air conditioner when no people inside. 3, you can reduce the temperature up to 24 degrees C. No blockage of airflow. and also can we use the latest technology we can use now, the inverter. Okay, and last question we have last question here before we end. We have a question for Kathleen. So is it true, Kathleen, that the cost of installation almost proportional to the thickness and R value? Can you elaborate based on the energy efficient and the energy saving?
Okay, thank you, Dr. Asman, for the question. No doubt, yes, the thicker the insulation, the higher the value, the R value, and of course, it is more expensive. But when the R value is greater, that means it has more effective insulating effectiveness. So the larger the number, it means that the harder the insulation are working at preventing the heat conduction. So the less heat penetrate, the lower our energy utility bills will be. So for example, if you lit up a blowtorch, lit up against a tin foil, and you touch the tin foil, you touch the tin foil of the other side, it will be hot. But if you lit up the blowtorch against a rubber insulation, for example, and you touch the other side of the insulation, it would take some time to get warm, but it won't get hot so quickly. This is because the rubber insulation has greater R value compared to the tin foil. Therefore, it provides the thermal breaks between the tin foil and the rubber insulation. For example, if in HVAC system, based on the condition, for example, 1 inch is sufficient, 1 inch thickness is sufficient for the environment, it will definitely help the HVAC system in energy saving already. But it doesn't mean that a higher thickness of insulation is identical on more energy saving on air conditioning system.
Okay. So I think a very quite good answer from Kathleen. I think the last question we have a last question here for Bernard. Bernard, last question for you. Based on your experience, how the intelligent management can able to solve the issue of uncontrolled energy consumption from the usage of split air conditioner at residential or office?
Yeah, I thank you for that question. I think I've already touched on that. I mean, I think it's taking air conditioners which have no controls and putting controls in place, and where the user has the ability with a remote control to just adjust and do whatever they want with that air conditioner, is to put that in the hands of the organization that's trying to manage it. So I think that's really the key in all of this, is having some type of overall system for management where you can set standardized rules, standardized schedules, standardized procedures in terms of how you want to do things. So just as Dr. Zamri mentioned earlier, where the government mandated a number of years ago that the temperature in government offices needed to be set at a certain level, that requires on people's goodwill to do that, but it doesn't necessarily mean that is what is going to actually be done. These types of control systems are a tool to make sure that can actually be implemented and followed.
Okay. I think that is a quite good answer. So now we are come to the final. So before ending, can we have our panelists to give us one key takeaway to our audience in line with the today topic? So we start to Mr. Zamri, please.
I think energy efficiency is an important element or component in preserving our environment. Many economies have come up with energy efficiency or law or regulation, and for the household appliances, energy efficiency and liability requirements are mandated in many countries. So I think that's a takeaway from me.
Okay, good, Mr. Zamri. Then Miss Kathleen.
Okay, oftenly insulation has been neglected and leading to an avoidable damage to most of the user, and of course, when there's damage, there's increase of energy costs, rectification costs. So all these negative effects can easily avoid by using the correct specification and installation method of insulation. From today's topic, we do hope that the installers will not neglect the importance of insulations and be able to shift from saving upfront material costs to a long-term performance value. Right, thank you.
So, Mr. Bernard, how about you?
I think my takeaway or my little piece of advice for everyone is go and read the article if you've got time. Freezing in the Tropics, really insightful article, will really give you an idea of the scale of the problem that we're all facing with AC. I don't think it's one particular answer. It's not just control systems. It's not just legislative framework. It's not just insulation. There's a number of different pieces to the puzzle, and I think that article will give people a much deeper understanding of the scope of the problem.
Okay. So finally, we are come to the end. So, ladies and gentlemen, the energy efficiency is not a new topic. In fact, we can enhance the energy efficiency, especially in Malaysia, through what has been discussed and highlighted by our expert panelists just now. So I think today is the best forum that what we found are, and now it is even more relevant and has more business implication than ever. With that, I would like to take this opportunity to say a big thanks to our panelists today, Mr. Zamri, Ms. Kathleen, and Mr. Bernard. Thank you very much again for sharing your thought and knowledge in this Power Talk series. And last note to our audience, congratulations on successfully staying until the end of today's Mavec Power Talk. And we at Mavec are excited to welcome all suppliers, manufacturers to be on board on this business event to rebuild our industries together. So, when you would like to discover how to be a part of this business event or in this Power Talk series, our team has posted a link in the comment side, and do click on the link to schedule an appointment with our marketing team for further discussion. Stay safe and take care. So bye-bye.
Bye-bye.